It is great to be here, and I want to thank Tom for his introduction. I am extraordinarily proud to have come out of the Connecticut Citizen Action Group, and we were a good organization when I was there, and it is a great organization now, in large part because of Tom's leadership, and so we should give him a round of applause. And it's also daunting to be on this panel because my former boss is on this panel. You'll hear from Lynn Ide in a few minutes, and so it's great to be here with her. It is also great, obviously, to be here in Chris Murphy's district. And I want to say two things. First off, were you guys not all blown away on the evening of November 4th when Barack Obama became president of the United States? That was an extraordinary thing. But the change, the ability for us to change this country as we know it, as far as I'm concerned, began in 2006 when we took back the House and the Senate, and when we elected extraordinary people like Chris Murphy. You are very, very lucky to have him as your representative. There's a lot of reasons I think you're lucky to have Chris as your representative. But the biggest one this year is that there is no shortage of policy and big ideas in Washington, D.C. There are no shortage of think tanks. There are no shortage of people who have extraordinary sense of self-importance. And in the United States Congress, there's two dangers. And the first is that they'll do nothing. And the second is that they'll do something. So what's going to determine what happens this year on health care is two things. One is what everyone in this room does, and the second is having members of the United States Congress with the backbone and the courage to stand up to the special interest and do what's right. Chris Murphy is one of those people, and we are extraordinarily lucky that he's leading on this issue in the United States Congress. Chris has been working very closely with our organization in Congress, helping to put briefings together of his colleagues to educate folks. And that's extraordinarily important for a simple reason, which is that there is no shortage of policy ideas, but there is a shortage of this backbone. Big shortage of that in the United States Congress, and a big shortage of courage. Chris Murphy is one of the people who does not lack in that area. And that's going to be extraordinarily important. And so I have just a few points to make this morning. I'll get out of the way of my little PowerPoint. PowerPoint is my new favorite thing because you don't really have very much to say. If you're not sure you have any good lines or any good jokes, you have a PowerPoint. You bring pictures. And so I have some of those. And I just want to start by taking a look at this. Campaign for an American Solution. Look at this. Is this a pretty slide? You guys like this slide? Come on, you gotta tell me if you like this slide. Because I'm gonna trick you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna trick you. I didn't make it. This slide talks about affordable, high-quality health care for every American. They want you to be part of health care reform. They want you to sign up. How cool is that? You know who produced this slide? Someone said the bad guys. Someone said the bad guys. That's so not nice. That's so not nice. You're acting as if there's good and evil in this world. Oh, wait, there is, right? There's the insurance industry, and they exist to take people's money, keep it, and provide no benefits, no health care because they're in the health care industry. Makes sense. This is their program. Everybody is talking about quality, affordable health care for all. Everybody's for the same thing. We have one debate thus far, which is people agree that we need to do health care reform now, in this year. And that was not easy to do. And I have to tell you, my organization, we work very hard, but we're not that smart. So when we named ourselves, we had a meeting. Someone said, what do we want? Health care. When do we want it? Now. And so we named ourselves Health Care for America Now. But then it turns out that everybody else had the same idea. And so, which is okay if we win. What do we mean by it, though? My point here is I just want to make really one point. It matters what we're for, and it matters dearly what we win. That's the whole point, and that's why this forum is important, and that's why everyone is here important. That's why having people like Chris Murphy in the Congress is important. We want four things. We want coverage that you can afford. God forbid, because for those of us who have insurance, we realize that we don't so much have it if we can't afford it, and if they don't give it to us when we need it. We want good benefits that meet our health care needs. We want a choice of a public or private health insurance plan. I should say that the other way around. We want to have a choice of a private or a public health insurance plan. If you don't like the plan that you have, you ought to be able to choose one that is sponsored by the government. If you like it, you should be able to keep the one you have. And we want equal access to health care in all our communities. We live in a country with the greatest medical care on the globe, and many people in this country don't have access to it. And that's nuts, right? That's nuts. So we go to places like Iraq to teach them about civilization, but we don't so much have it here when it comes to providing health care for every single person in our country. So increasingly, we actually have to just be clear about what it is that we want, because it's not all the same words as the insurance industry. We want real reform that works for real people and not the special interests. And so in our organization, we're now talking about how would you know? How would you know? You have no reform that works for real people. So we have something called the Real People Test. And I'm going to try that out here because you all look very real to me as people. And it's very simple. When we win, right, when members of Congress go to their districts in a year, what we're saying to those members in Congress is don't pass some policy where you get to put it in your leaflet and tell everybody you did a thing, right? Because if you have to go door knocking as a member of Congress and knock on someone's door and say, hey, how you doing? I just wanted to make sure you knew I made a difference in your life. You probably didn't. People would know. They know these kinds of things. And so the question is, will I be able to afford it? Will the benefits meet my family's health care needs? Will I get hassled by my insurance company? Will I be able to keep my insurance if I like it? Or have a choice of another private insurance or a public insurance plan? When we talk about a public insurance plan, we're talking about something like Medicare that would compete with private insurance, keep private insurance honest, which I know sounds ridiculous, but that's the whole idea of reform. Is to have a public plan that offers the benefits that you need at a price that you can afford, or that makes private insurance better than it is now by being competitive. And lastly, will I be able to get health care when I need it? Here's the good news. Public supports what everyone in this room supports. 73% of the public says that they want a choice of a private or a public health insurance plan. And when we've done polling and we've tested every single every single insurance argument about how we're going to be, how our program is big government and socialism and all these other kind of crazy things, people reject those things overwhelmingly. And so, I will close by just saying one last thing, which is that you are all here because you care, and you are all here because you are activists. You are all here because you believe in something that for 100 years we have fought for, and it's been unimaginable that we could win. Just as it was unimaginable that we could elect Barack Obama President of the United States. And I love the idea that we elected an African American, but I so much love more that we elected somebody who has the politics of the people in this room and shares our values. When it comes to health care, we can win this year. The only way that we will win this year is if all of us stretch and work hard and do more. And that is our opportunity as activists, and it is also our responsibility. One of the things that you can do today, where's Mark Brandwetter? There's Mark Brandwetter, he's in the back. One of the things you can do today is write a letter I assume to the members of the United States Senate, where we need a little bit of help. And please do so. It will be how we win. And thank you very much.